Oh, that was fast. Certainly fast. Little female walleye here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys can barely see anything. Obviously, you got the little bit of sunrise over there. Out here in the pier, taking a little break from the hunting thing because, you know, I suck. Sorry for the wind noise. But, yeah, I've been doing a lot of hunting this year. Haven't been doing too hot in that department, though. So, I decided to come back and do something I'm actually decent at. And I'm fishing again. It is September 30th, or 31st, one of the two. September 30th, and the walleye run's starting up again. The fall walleye run. Now, normally I don't fish from up here on the pier. I'm usually over on the shoreline, as you guys can see. You can maybe see that guy on the shoreline over there, but I'm usually over there. But just for the sake of, it's been raining a lot lately, I'm up here. Also fishing up here is pretty nice when you have the whole pier to yourself. Man, it has been so long since I've done this fishing thing. I'm using a blade bait. I don't know if you guys can quite see that. No, probably not. But I'll show you guys once the light's actually up. But I'm using a blade bait. And it was actually kind of hilarious the other day because everybody was throwing all these jigs with these swim bait trailers and stuff, and here I was the only guy using a blade bait, and I was just catching them just as well. Oops. That was a rock. There's another one? Nope. Or maybe, nope, it's a snag. Okay, cool. Nice little thing of ghost line there. I do wish I had a pair of gloves on me right now, though. Good lord, this wind is brutal. It's not even that heavy of a wind, too. It's just that steady breeze that doesn't let up. There we go. Ah, lost it. Oh, 1-1. At least I know they're biting today. I wasn't so sure about the bite because we've actually had this pretty decent sized thing of low pressure sitting over us. Where's the high pressure that they struggle in? I don't know. Or maybe when it's spawning season, they just don't care. And I might lose this one. Probably. Oh, got it back. The best strikes are always the ones where you get hung up, and then once you break free, you just get absolutely destroyed. Which is going to be very interesting to see what happens when The sun's actually up. See if the bite keeps hitting hard or if it dies down a bit. This is like a switchblade spoon, as they call it, from Wahoo or whatever that company is. Now, under normal circumstances, I would never throw a spoon over here, but there was a guy who was catching pretty good back here earlier. He's not here anymore. Also, this gives me a break from having the wind in my face. Oh, look at that. Holy boy. Runner. Runner. Get out from the bridge. Get out from the pillar. Oh man, here's an eater size. I say eater size, but actually no, she's not really that big. I was about to say, please be nice to me, and obviously she's not going to be very nice to me. God dang it. Okay, players time. Oh, or she can just pop it off like that. Nice. Are you done? 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 Can I show you to the camera? Please? 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 Yep. Look at that. I think it's another female with that belly. Morning. Two of them and I just got here. Two of them and I just got here. Oh, look at that, another one. Make that 3. Ooh. That hurt a bit. Oh.
Curious, because everybody usually uses paddle tails.
Yeah. No, it's because everybody uses paddle tails, so I just use a blade bait.
Wow, that doesn't mean anything that everybody's using paddle tails, that they won't bite on a paddle tail.
Yeah, I know, but it's just kind of like a little pet peeve of mine where everybody's using one bait. I always like using a different bait. All right, number 3. Let him have a little bit of fun. Come back over here. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to shut it down. There's basically no birds over there anymore. Can I help you? Excuse me, sir, can I help you? Or ma'am? Please do not make a nest on my fishing pole. I still need it. Yep, I'm just gonna shut it down after this one. Then maybe I'll start talking about my favorite lures to use when I'm walleye fishing. Okay, this yellow jacket just does not want to leave me alone. Can I help you, ma'am? So evidently, I didn't realize I wasn't recording this whole time, so I literally just went on like a 30-minute ramble while not recording, which I should have figured because it looked kind of weird that my GoPro wasn't flashing. And yes, I am recording this off the GoPro, so I apologize if the audio is absolute trash. But basically, I just went through a list of my favorite walleye baits, considering I only caught 3 this morning. And I guess I'll go over them again since I got them out. So, lately my favorites have been these guys. Not specifically this brand, but blade baits in general. And I don't know if you guys caught it this morning, but this was the one I was catching all the fish on this morning, this color. And this is actually the first time I'm using the Switchblade spoons, because before, I'll show you guys here, I was using either the cicadas or, oh man, who's that? Who's that company? It's an older company. They're no longer in business anymore, but they made some fantastic blade baits. But yeah, I'm probably gonna end up getting more of these. Actually, they're more cost effective than the cicadas, that's for sure. So yeah, the blade baits definitely a good thing to invest in. Next up, lipless crankbaits. And I won't lie to you, I've never actually seen this one, so I'm kind of eager to try her out. But the regular ripping wraps, man, I've got nothing but good things to say about these things. Earlier this year, I caught a 29-incher or some big girl during the spring spawn, and there's actually a video out there. I say video, but it's actually a bonus clip of when Calvin and I were fishing in December, and he was just killing them on a rip and wrap. So Calvin swears by the rip and wrap. I don't mind using them. I just rather use my blade baits. They definitely make more. They definitely make more noise than a blade bait. Hang on, let me find a knife or something. Yeah, they definitely make more noise, so they're definitely gonna be a bit more noticeable. Although, I'll tell you what, actually, especially when a lure is this loud, you don't really need, like, I got, this thing is colored in, I'm losing the case here. This one's colored in what they call fruit bowl. I don't think the color matters as much, especially at night when they don't really see anything, because they usually just feel it. And my supervisor at work actually tested this theory, where because he colored his own blanks, and there was one time he threw out a legit blank, like no color on it whatsoever, and he caught a fish. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. He's also got a YouTube channel. I think it's called like DKI Outdoors or something. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll probably end up leaving a link in the description just because I mentioned it, because he's a pretty good fisherman himself. But yeah, lipless crankbaits. And then since we were talking about lipless, let's talk about regular crankbaits. The Hottentot, I actually started throwing one of these on a whim, and honestly I haven't thrown one in like 2 years. But all I remember is I really liked using it because for some reason it just refused to get hung up. Like I'd feel like hitting every single rock on the bottom and it refused to get hung up. I don't know what Storm did with the bill to have it not get hung up all the time, but this is the color that I caught a lot of walleye on. I believe this is metal gold something red back or whatever. I don't know, whatever that is. But yeah, snagged a 27-inch walleye on one. So the hooks are definitely sharp. And then we get to the flicker shads. Where do I start with the flicker shads? Quite frankly, I don't know about any of you guys, but I've been very hit and miss with these flicker shads. Like, I usually get the smaller size, not the size 9, but especially with the smaller ones, I've had like a 50-50 shot between whether they swim right or they just keep rolling. And no matter how much I try to tune it, the rolling never stops. And then one day, magically, it just stops rolling. So I don't know if it's just me or if you guys have any other experiences with the flicker shads, but I usually don't get these. I usually tend to get the flicker minnows, but I ended up getting a flicker shad instead. And then lastly, but not least, we get the jigs with any kind of trailer you decide to throw on it. Now, a lot of guys usually throw these ones, the Authentics Pulse R, because there's something about this design. I think it lets off more vibration or whatever, and it's just really effective for bass. Actually, there was that guy this morning who started giving me crap because I started throwing around my underspin with the paddle tail on it, and I told him I wasn't throwing a paddle tail because everybody else throws a paddle tail. I mean, yeah, you can throw what everyone else is throwing. It's effective. Me personally, I learned from a very popular YouTuber to not stick with what everyone is throwing. You guys might know who I'm talking about, but yeah, that's the whole reason why I was throwing a blade bait. Like, I believe I said it earlier in the actual video where I popped out the other night. Everybody was throwing a paddle tail, and I ended up being the only one throwing a blade bait, and I was just killing them. But before I start rambling off again, let's talk about grubs. Tell me what doesn't eat a grub. Well, aside from the bottom feeders. Personally, I've never really had much luck with grubs or much luck with jig fishing in general. But hey, to all what people like to use, whatever works for you may not work for me. Whatever I do may not work specifically for you. We're all different. But yeah, basically these are pretty much some of my favorite lures to use while walleye fishing. And I don't know if they'll work during the summer because walleye kind of get weird during the summer, at least in my experience. But if we're looking at them technically, the blade bait, lipless crankbait, regular crankbaits, plastics. Yeah, crap. I knew I forgot one. I won't bother going to get one, but the other one that I was actually really addicted to was, and I lost it earlier, which sucks, but it's the underspin. And I like using the underspin, especially during the spring, right when the ice melts. And I don't know what it is about what am I trying to say? The spinner being on the bottom of it, but something about that just gets the walleye crazy during the spring, and it just works. I've caught some pretty nice sized fish during that time. But yeah, that's pretty much all my favorite lures to use during walleye season, and especially with the cold temperatures coming down again, should get them kick-started pretty nicely. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. This is New Guys Outdoors. I'll see you next time.